This is gonna be a very short, less edited video, but I want to give some knowledge over some new PVZ3 stuff, as I've been dying to know PVZ3's future. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for showcasing these leaks in video, though I doubt anything will happen. EA doesn't have some secret hitman team that kills people that leak stuff, I think. PVZ3 has a very complicated history. Very complicated. But I'll give you a summary slash timeline of how complicated it really was. So the first soft launch was on 2019, where PopCap announced the development of PVZ3, releasing a pre-alpha version for the community. Yeah, 6 years ago. Time flies. People, naturally, didn't like this pre-alpha version. I didn't either. At all. I thought it was very bad. A big sin the game did was the fact that it switched from the usual horizontal size to portrait mode. I hate this. It doesn't feel right. It feels almost tight space-wise when on portrait mode. I get it's meant to be easier accessible for phone users, but I honestly wish Plants vs Zombies had more PC games. PVZ2 would be great if it was on PC, which is why so many people use BlueStacks for it, or why PVZ2 Gardenless is a thing. The game feels too much like other phone games, like Clash Royale. And that's not what PVZ should be. Rather than feeling like a strategy tower defense, it felt like a generic cash grab phone app. With this criticism from many other users as well, PopCap pulled the plug temporarily on late 2020. A quote, major overhaul, they'd call it. 2 years after, 2022, a completely different version of PVZ3 was soft launched. I think it was definitely an upgrade art style wise. The 3D look of the 2019 version in my opinion was pretty ugly. It was a turnout for me. And it's back to its old aspect ratio. This 2022 version was still subpar for me. It was still heavy on microtransactions and still felt like an average phone game. But hey, they were getting there. To address these continued issues, the game was taken offline again. You can see why this game history is considered so complicated. Awkward. And lastly, for now at least, a 2024 version was released. PVZ3 Welcome to Zomburbia. This was definitely an upgrade compared to 2019 and 2022. It's very similar to the 2022 version, but there's still a lot of questionable decisions like battle passes being added. On November of 2024, this version was removed from app stores. It's disappointing to see this game so messy. I think there's a lot of potential, but there needs to be some sort of rework in general. And there technically was. On January 2025, EA made a blog post asking fans to help choose an art style for a new PVZ3, with 3 different art styles shown to choose. I honestly love the comic style pink look the best, but on second place is definitely the original 2024 art style. I thought that was the best part of the beta, and I wouldn't mind they kept it at all, which they will it seems. I'll get to that when I talk about the leaks. After some time, people started getting ads in different mobile games about PVZ3 in these 3 different art styles showcasing gameplay. In one of these advertisements, a certain mechanic from a PVZ fan game is introduced. When combining plants, you can merge them into one, just like PVZ Fusion. In this ad, when combining pea shooter and walnut, it becomes a peanut. This becomes incredibly important in the leaks. A lot of people don't really like the idea of merging plants in the game, but this may be a hot take. I actually like the idea, although I don't appreciate the fact that it's pretty much taken PVZ Fusion's developer Bluefly's idea, and that's just some sort of credit for him in the game, we'll see. But I really like PVZ Fusion's concept, so possibly putting it into an official PVZ game is great. It's unique and different. Something I want from a new game. When I mean different though, I don't mean whatever the beta was doing. Yeah, it was different, but in the worst way possible. It didn't have that charm. Now we can finally talk about these new leaks. So from this first picture, we can finally confirm that this game is indeed incorporating PVZ Fusion's mechanics into the game. First, we have this combination, Code Slaw and Jumbrella Leaf. 2 new plants, their mechanics are unknown. Create this new plant called Snowbell. I'm assuming Code Slaw is a cabbage plant that could freeze and slow down zombies similar to Snow Pea. A part of me thinks maybe Code Slaw is a combination of cabbage plant and Snow Pea. We'll see. I have no idea what Snowbell would do though once they're combined. The second combination involved 2 Jumbrella Leaves, creating a Blockwood. Third, combining Umbrella Leaf again. I literally don't know who this plant is, but again, I'm going to assume it's related to Umbrella Leaf. Although Umbrella Leaf was in the 2024 version, he's not in the new leaked files now, so he was replaced. RIP Umbrella Leaf. Anyway, combining this plant with Nippy Cabbage creates Numbean Cabbage. From the looks of it, maybe Nippy Cabbage is a combination of Snow Pea and Bok Choy? Like when it punches zombies, it'll freeze them as well or something? Who knows? I'm just guessing. But it's easy to tell with some of these visuals of what they do. For some reason, this fourth one has the same merging of plants from the first to create Pine Needler. Pine Needler was a plant in the pre-2021 version of PVZ3. She had the ability of throwing piercing needles at a fairly fast pace, but I'm not sure this is the same plant. Just the name. as it's a completely different design. I'm not sure why it has the same merging from the first, but these are just concepts. Not everything is finalized or confirmed. Fifth, we're introduced to Sawgrass. Similar to Pine Needler, she was in PVZ 3 as well as a heavy damage spikeweed, but this Sawgrass has a completely different design than this older one. Combining two Sawgrass creates Chainsaw Grass. Who knows what it'll do, but it looks pretty cool. Then we have this weird looking one, but I find it oddly charming. Combining two twin sunflowers creates a special looking creature called the Sun Tower. It'll probably produce an immense amount of sun or something. It's more creative than just putting one or two more heads on a twin sunflower, honestly. Combining a taw nut and a lychee, which is another plant from the older PVZ 3, but this time it has the same design. It's literally Endurian, but it does 3x3 damage rather than singular damage on the zombie chewing on it. Well, combining Tana and Lychee create Endurian. I think it's great that some of these fusions create other plants from previous games like this. There are other PVZ 2 plants located in the files that I'll talk about in a bit as well. Combining two Taw nuts create Juggernaut. There is a Juggernaut in PVZ Heroes, but obviously it's in reference to PVZ 2's walnut plant food. This Juggernaut in this new game is completely different. Two different plants. Seventh, combining two Slosslingers. I have no idea what it'll do, but I'm gonna assume it's a fusion of Bok Choy and Cabbage Po. Creates this heavy looking guy called Beet Choy. He's so angry looking. I'm not surprised this next one's a thing. When you combine two repeaters, you create Gattenly P from PVZ 2. I don't know if it's the same Gattenly P from the first PVZ, as his PVZ 3's design symbols on its helmet is the same as Mega Gattenly P's from PVZ 2. I have no idea why Gattenly P's first design was practically abandoned. I know they're technically the same plant, but still, justice for Gattenly P. And last, when you combine two wintergreens, whatever these are, I thought they were iceberg lettuces for a second, but maybe they're a merge of some kind involving the iceberg lettuce. Anyways, combining two of these turn into freezer salad, whatever that is. There are so many more as seen in the files, but these are the only ones I've seen that show the specific merging, though there are some that I could guess. Like Buzz Choy is definitely a combination of Bunk Choy and some electric plant. Maybe electric pea shooter or electric reed. Well, electric reed at first wasn't in the files. There are these two new plants, Zaptail and Punk Shocker, that look like electric reed, but who knows. It's like how Tango Kelp isn't in the files, but there are Tango Camp related plants like Prick Arrow Weed, is that how you say it? Tango Pole, probably a Cabbage Pole and Tango Kelp merge, and Rango Kelp. Or Tater Pole is probably a combination of Kernel Pole and some other potato related plant. Yet Kernel Pole isn't in the files either. They have Solar Pea. It's obviously a combination of Sunflower or Pea Shooter. I wonder if it'll work similar to the Solar Pea from Reflourished. One thing I love about these designs in PVZ 3 is that unlike Fusion, some of them are their own thing. They turn into new plants, rather than just being general combinations of two names/designs. Here are the PVZ 2 plants that are coming back. Hello, Celery Stalker, Electric Pea Shooter, Endurian, Explodo Nut, Fire Pea Shooter, Iceberg Lettuce, Iceweed, Peanut, Primal Sunflower, Primal Walnut, and Sling Pea. I think there's definitely more to come. So literally just as I finished talking, another leak came out. Lightning Reed and Umbrella Leaf are indeed in the game, so scrap whatever I said before. I mean, it makes sense. So many plants look so similar to them design-wise, I would have been genuinely shocked if they weren't. Bamboo Shot from PVZ 3 beta is in the files too. A lot of these other plants are probably from previous games too, maybe. So if that's the case, please inform me in the comments. Green Shadow and Solar Flare from PVZ Heroes are in this game as well in the files. I have no idea what their significance could be, but I'm not disagreeing or complaining at all. It definitely adds some continuity, and I love the designs of characters in general. Cattail's also back, and she's one of my favorite PVZ plants, so there's no complaint here. It also looks like the lawn gnomes are making a comeback as well. There's just so much to this game that I gotta say, these leaks have gotten me a little excited. We were planted coming its way. I am pretty certain I'll talk about that as well. There's some speculation that there will be Great Wall content in the Limbo page, but I guess we'll wait and see.